Tusk, Line, and Quap do a lot without too much farm. So I do believe this trio on Team Bright is enough to buy space for Doom and Medusa overall.
Yeah, I think they'll be perfectly fine. I do certainly agree with the draft opinions here, John. I do think Team Bright certainly came out with a much better draft going into this game one. You know me very well, John. I do not believe in Wind Ranger, let alone Position 1 Wind Ranger. I do understand why they went down that route, but I do stick with my guns. I think it was a desperate pick. I think they were lost as to what to choose. I think they wanted the Medusa last pick, and Team Bright just took it away from them. So, well, here we go. MAG.Yolo, we'll see what they do about it. I have a lot of doubts that this Wind Ranger is going to be enough to deal with the Medusa this game. It certainly is possible, but you can't forget either. There is a Doom in the game. You know, you just commit that Doom on the Wind Ranger every single time. There's just nothing she can do.
Yeah. You can't heal through it. I suppose that's what maybe made something like the Troll awkward as well, but I don't know, Wind Ranger is still awkward into that. I still feel like the safer bet would be like a Troll.
I think all their options were just awkward, because they only had, what, 20 seconds reserve time left to make a decision as well. I'm very, very sure they wanted to do the last pick. I'm almost 100% confident. Anyway, props to Team Bright for taking it away from them. Bit of a fight. Nice Earth Spike here from TK, but it won't matter. Still a 2-for-2 trade in the bounty rune, so nice even start between these two teams. We'll start off with the mid lane as per usual. Of course, you have your Mo. He's going to be on the DP against Butterfly Effect on the Quap, as we are going to have a quick pause to come out. I did like the Queen of Pain pickup, of course, against the DP, because this is one of the heroes that doesn't really care so much about the mid DP. Just able to blink away every single time she goes for the Spirit Siphon. Sure, you can go for a value point in the silence, but we just never see it. The DP is always just going to max Crypt Swarm and Spirit Siphon first, and that does mean that the Quap should just have the lane advantage.
It should feel pretty good for Butterfly Effect. I don't think it's a complete wash for the DP though. Like, you stand back, you just play with Crypt Swarm. You are fairly happy with that, although Quap's reach is pretty nice as well. So there is some good back and forth here. The Shadow Strike is the big difference maker for Butterfly Effect. But again, it's not the most awkward. Although, if you do opt for like a Shadow Strike build focus instead for Butterfly Effect, instead of the Scream, that's when it gets really bad for Emo. Already seeing the effect of that level 1 trade for Butterfly Effect. Keen to see how these skills go. Like, it's straightforward for the DP, it doesn't change too much. Again, Butterfly Effect will have to keep tossing those daggers out. Taking a look at the other lanes up top, getting aggressive a little bit here.
And they are trying. Red Panda, though, has gone a bit too far, and CZY will move in. One more hit will do it. In fact, never mind. The Blood Grenade, the damage over time does take care of it. And well, we have seen this multiple times with Tusks throughout these qualifiers, just trying to move in at that level 1, level 2 mark with the tag team, but they always end up dying.
Yeah, it's really aggressive. I appreciate that they want to try to take care of the Centaur before more levels are up, before he can try to trade better with Double Edge and Hoof Stomp. But it's just so risky, especially with a Batrider and Flame Break. And that knockback just throws off that pace. He's trying
again? Yeah, what? I mean, this looks like a death for a Panda. I mean, he tries again, not sure why. So it seemed like a very obvious death to come. Obviously, Ulu cannot do much to help out, so Red Panda, dying for a second time, will now have to make the walk of shame back to the lane.
It's an interesting play. There's no justification for it. Ulu's left alone now. I mean, the solo lane for Dusa is fine as long as you don't get Flame Broken back, but you gain nothing from trying that in Red Panda. I know. Taking a look at the bot lane, you have Vinessi on the Wind Ranger, along with Chusheng on that Enchantress, up against Irving and TK on the Doom Lion. They do have the early Devour at the very least, so Irving will be able to find a good creep for now, just riding on that speed aura. Not the most amazing, but can be offensively nice with a Scorched Earth. Still, really easy lane coming out here for Vinessi, no contest at all. TK, okay.
Yeah. Getting sniped here by Vinessi and the Ench, so we'll go down here on the Lion. Irving still having a decent enough time on the Doom, but Vinessi's finding a lot of farm. 17 and 4 on the Wind Ranger. He's definitely not having a very tough time, that's for sure.
Oh, it is a very free lane. Double range into the Doom. Does not feel great here for Irving. You're just gonna have to play passively, farm up, try to hit some level spikes until you feel comfy, and you can probably be left alone. I think that's the best you can hope for in lane. Just reach that point where the Doom is stable, and you can rotate on the line, maybe onto that mid lane, onto Yamo at some point. But for now, laning phase looking quite atrocious for Team Bright.
Sure is. Bottom lane. It will be a bit of a chase onto the Enchantress, but she will be okay. Now, the mid lane has looked very even here between the DP and the Quap. Both of them just sitting around the exact same CS.
Yeah.
Not too much action
Kind of to
happening.
be expected.
Yeah,
Like,
certainly so.
Yeah, you just end up farming. I think it's really... The side lanes are hurting too much here for the side of Team Bright. Again, you have a lineup that will want to sit back and farm anyway, but giving this much tempo out to MAG.Yolo is risky. You are seeing the power of just Flame Break into setup for Candy Loon. It's been slow going. Ulu's still finding some farm at the very least, so not under complete pressure to be shoved away. A much better story for him in that sense, at the least, but I don't know. Like, with a trio start for MAG.Yolo, the support EXP on the side of MAG.Yolo is going to be the important bit, right? Like, we always talk about Batrider being a really greedy support. Widow's kills they found up top from the Death's Red Panda. There's a lot of room for CZY now. Like, he already has Brown Boots going for the Tranks. Now, that's going to be a pretty decent timing for Bat, so he can start to run forward easier, look for those flame breaks, even potentially down the line, look for some opportunistic lassos as well when that levels up. So yeah, it's like these small losses are pretty big to allow MAG.Yolo to just kind of set up for their own much earlier timing, as
TK.
it's going to be slow for Bright.
TK getting so close to dying there. Luckily for him, Vanessa did end up missing a power shot earlier, otherwise that would have been another death onto the Lion. TK, though, able to walk his way out. Top lane Red Panda now being chased down by Candaloon and CZY, but will be okay to back himself out this time around. So plenty of farm coming out here in these side lanes. MAG.Yolo. It's Candaloon having an extremely good time, 29 and 7 now on the Centaur, and of course Vanessa continues to basically free farm on the Wind Ranger. A lot of pressure on Butterfly Effect to start making rotations soon and sorting out these side lanes for his team. So the Power Runes are going to spawn up. Regen Rune is going to be found out here for Butterfly Effect, but we are going to have a quick pause out from CZY. CZY quick reconnection here for himself, but so you've got a Regen Rune to be picked up by the Quap. Again, I think Butterfly Effect at some stage will have to start rotating rather soon, because it is going to be a little bit of an awkward game for them if they don't try to resolve these side lanes going quite badly.
Yeah, it's an issue of who do you jump right now on the side of Team Bright. Might be easier to actually just lock in Candy Loon up top before that level 6 Stampede is up, because I think the Wind Ranger might just be a little bit too slippery. You don't really have burst on your supports yet. The Quap, the damage is decent, but he did, again, go for the Shadow Strike to maintain that lane, so it doesn't have that burst with Scream plus Sonic Wave. It's a little bit less damage, and you already have the Bracer up down bot, so probably best move is top. Again, the support levels are the painful point for Team Bright. Like, yes, you have this Quap that can make moves. Your Doom and Medusa will not join that, so it's down to the Tuscan Lion, and both of them are stuck at around level 3. And comparison, you're already inching towards the level 4, a little bit closer here for the side of MAG.Yolo. Just a little bit, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll see if they can get that space out. Butterfly Effect has been farming pretty well. Again, his lane against the DP has actually shaped up to an advantage, going for that Shadow Strike build. And that is putting a lot of pressure. Like, Yamo is actually just walking back and TPing into the lane. He will be 6 soon, so your window for Butterfly Effect to get a free gank going is pretty limited, as once he leaves that lane, you're going to be fighting either into Exo, or Exo is just going to be popped and your mid's gone. Like, either option is rough for the side of Team Bright.
Yamo taking a lot of stacks down as well on the DP. In the top lane, Ulu already out of mana. He's going to have rotations coming in though. Candaloon and Butterfly Effect. They'll rotate around to ensure they do secure a kill. Ulu will make his way out. That is a very nice kill here for the side of Team Bright, and their first kill of the game. So they will find themselves a Centaur, buy Ulu some more space and time to farm up. This Butterfly Effect looks like he's ready to start roaming across the map. Will even enter the Radiant Triangle to have a look around here, but won't find anyone, sadly.
Yeah. And that was a very deep committal out from MAG.Yolo. Good read from Team Bright to just TP in time and find the punishment. Ulu does not have that protection of a lot of wand charges in Mord here, though.
Panda. Well, he's kind of blocked himself in here with his shards. Was stunned up anyway by Candaloon, so really had no way out. And now Yemo, of course, with the level 6 mark, wants to rotate and use that exorcism straight off the bat. They've got an Enchantress on top, so this tower is not going to last very long, and it seems as though Team Bright are kind of respecting the fact that the towers are going to drop. They won't be around to defend this one.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have enough, again, in your supports just yet to hope to burst down Yemo or even Candaloon unless, again, he repeats a deep dive. They'll try to siege down bot here on the side of Team Bright to equalize. Their push pace is a lot slower, though. Doom is not going to apply that much pressure onto the tier 1. And Butterfly Effect's just keeping mid shoved in. But again, there's no real push from Team Bright. So, nice map opening here for MAG.Yolo. Great first usage of that Exo.
CZY.
The big thing that'll...
Yeah, get caught out here. He does at least take the Arcane Rune away from Butterfly. But it is going to cost him his life. So Butterfly Effect probably won't mind too much. Gets a bit of a gold influx for himself on the Quap. And it seems as though there might be a bit of pressure to be applied here into the mid lane. And not too much. You don't really have a siege creep or some kind of high sieging heroes here on the side of Team Bright, but maybe a bit of damage to be had. Maybe even just a smoke rotation from these three. We shall see what they want to do. But both supports are going to camp around their Quap for now, it seems. It's not something you really see every day. It's just a Lion Quap pushing in the mid-tier 1 tower without a siege creep. But I suppose TK and Red Panther just don't have anything better to do at the moment, so eventually they'll head down bottom.
They don't really have anyone to play around but the Quap. I mean, you could try with Doom up now on Irving. Again, it's not really that much burst. The Quap still needs to show up. Like, every scenario for a kill here on a full HP hero does involve the Queen of Pain until some level 6s are up for the side of Team Bright. And it just lends itself to passivity if Butterfly Effect doesn't feel like he's ready. He is working onto his Witchblade first, so might want that up and running before making any full committals. One good thing here for Team Bright is, despite the top tier 1 being taken, there isn't any forward vision here from the side of MAG.Yolo, so you are fairly well protected on Ulu. He has his own ward to play with and doesn't mind farming solo up against Ascent. Still has that range advantage. No threat of movement out from MAG.Yolo into the area, so Dedusa is playing catch-up quite nicely. You're starting to clump around bot once more here, though.
Certainly are. Bit of a lasso attempt out onto the Doom, and Irving is just deleted. Nice and quick here onto Irving. There's not too much the Doom could have done about that. And MAG.Yolo looks like they might even pressure the bottom tier 1 tower. They've got the Dark Troll Summoner with a creep wave, so it's going to be a quick tower if nobody is around to defend this. It seems like TK will be the only one making his appearance here to defend the tier 1 tower. Should be enough anyway. He will pull the creep wave over. Still a lot of damage to be taken by the tier 1, but they'll get it eventually.
Yep. Just a slow shove in. Again, they always have the Exo to fall back to, but for now, Yemo is using that to clear out the stacks for himself. Going onto the Yules here for the DP. Should allow some self-setup for the silence when he does get that up, and just some quick ways of getting some dispels from the control of the side of Team Bright. Butterfly Effect.
Oh, CZY. Sonic Wave's not going to do enough. CZY, though, still dying to the Shadow Strike, and his Tranquil Boots are on cooldown, so he is dead. Butterfly Effect just trusting that the damage output would be enough in the end. And it certainly was. So now again with the Siege Creep this time around, and a Damage Amp Room, they can go for the mid-tier 1 tower. Are they really going to protect the Siege Creep? It seems like the answer's probably going to be no. They'll let it die. They'll have to retreat once again, as with this time around we're going to have a pause from Team Bright's end of things. Another lag complaint being made here by the Dire this time around.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, same thing's happening on the map outside of the siege. Everyone just kind of farming up to that point where they're comfy. MAG.Yolo still has a little bit more initiative on hand here. They are working their way onto that blink for CZY. So the death does slow down a pretty big timer here for MAG.Yolo. At the same time, he's only about 700 gold away, which isn't too rough for a Batrider support at this moment. They've also got the Veil already up and running on Candyloon, so a little bit more for the magical damage coming in when that centaur does decide to show in front line, going for the blink right after. Irving has been pretty passive. We haven't seen that Doom usage up yet. He is going for the blink now after his own Veil. So everyone probably just banking on these blinks before any bigger fights do spread out. That bot tier 1 does fall eventually, as you mentioned there, Mike. And MAG.Yolo just getting a little bit more room to, again, potentially rotate. But for now, their vision set up not at all on the bot side, just watching top. Would love to be able to jump Ulu, but again, the vision doesn't reach into that area, so happy farming.
Absolutely happy farming indeed. There's going to be a smoke though. Butterfly Effect and Red Panda, they will head up north. Candyloon is the target they'll be looking at. Keep in mind, he does have the Stampede available, so it's not going to be an easy target to try and take down. Red Panda, he'll go for the Snowball. Candyloon immediately will go for the Stampede away. Butterfly Effect, though, now seeing the Stampede committed, can go for the chase. And, well, Candyloon kind of maybe used the Stampede a little bit too early there, I think. Regardless, he is down, so they will be able to secure a nice pickup onto the offlane Centaur, and well, Ulu, of all people, will be taking that on the Medusa. In fact, through the twin gates they go. They want to keep going for more. There are 3 heroes here from MAG.Yolo down at the bottom lane. Obviously, they want Vanessa on that Wind Ranger, but he does have help around in the tree line. MAG.Yolo seem to be very well aware the rotation has happened, so they will retreat. Nobody will get picked off here on their side of things.
This lane ward still gives them value from that flank.
Oh, Vanessa.
Team Bright. Huh?
Oh, Red Panda. Never mind. I thought he may have gone for the shards attempt, but not quite.
Yeah, just clearing out creeps. Wanting his own build-up here on the Tusk. Leading to, again, a little bit of a slower game. Smoke out now from the side of MAG.Yolo. There's the blink on CZY. So the initiation is going to be smooth going, along with a blink on Candyloon. The Malaysian duo ready to go here.
Well, they won't find anyone with the scan. They might find Red Panda in the mid lane very soon. It's just 2 supports in that mid. But if they can find a kill, they could probably go for the tier 1 mid tower as well. Yumo already starting on the creep wave. Candyloon going to blink again, but will not get within range for the hoof stomp. Tier 1 tower, though, is still set to fall. There is no defending this one. No exorcism even required here from Yumo to be used. They get away with that scot-free, and no lives to be lost either. So a bit of a pretty big loss here from Team Bright. But it kind of goes with the territory. Like, you're playing a Medusa draft, right? So it's to be expected this is going to happen to you. And quite frankly, you are 14 minutes in, so that mid-tier 1 tower, it is still going down at a good timing if you consider that they have a Medusa draft for Team Bright.
Yeah, it's pretty good to hold on to it for this long, considering, again, you're up against a DP and the Ench as well. Push potential is lined up for MAG.Yolo, and you have gotten some value out. You've gotten your free farm on Ulu to at least get this Manta up for some more stats. You've also got the blink almost done here on Irving. He's about 600 gold away from that full item pickup, so some initiation will start to shape up. Team Bright will smoke up, though. They have a finger awaiting on TK. Are getting hungry to start building up some charges here for that level 15 talent.
Oh, Vanessa. Vanessa's the big target that's eluded them for so long. Red Panda is going to walk past for now. They have not seen the Wind Ranger yet. However, TK can have his smoke broken. Does find him. The immediate Hex is out. Finger is committed. Walrus Punch to finish the job off. And that's only 2 supports for a position 1 Wind Ranger. As now CZY goes for a lasso attempt. It's not really too good. But eventually, off the back of Candyloon to jump in, they will find the Lion. But I'll tell you, that is very concerning for Vanessa. Like, he just died to 2 supports. Sure, he is building a Lincoln Sphere, which will save him from that in the future. But 15.5 minutes in, just 2 supports can kill him that quickly.
is under attack.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long. Again, that's the key thing with Team Bright. Their rotation with the two supports alone is already a lot of burst. You throw in the Quap into that mix, and it starts to get pretty scary. Red Panda?
They're going to try and jump in on the edge first. Sonic Wave will get the job done. CZY, Shards, it won't block him in. He's got the Firefly gone. They'll take the edge kill for themselves.
Dire's top tower is
They've
under
been throwing a bit of a cheeky scan out on the power rune, just to see if they could get one, but Yemo had already picked up the illusion rune, so that will not be the case. I thought maybe Team Bright would want to try to set up for the mid-tier 1 tower after that engagement, but they don't really need to. You know, as long as the Medusa's hitting creeps, they are happy.
Pretty much. I think the issue as well is that, again, they don't have the best siege on the side of Team Bright. They don't want to force a fight into EXO with just 3 heroes as well. So they just have to sit back, relax, play with the pick-off games like this until your Doom is ready at the least, and then you can take some wider fights. Blink is up now on Irving, so they are feeling ready. Starting to clump up around this bot with a smoke from MAG.Yolo.
Oh, Red Panda will find Candyloon to get things started. Candyloon dropping extremely fast. Does go down. That just, he doesn't feel like a Centaur shot. He just died instantly.
Yeah. And they've got the magical burst. The cloak does save him a little bit, but he's not the tankiest Centaur just yet. Not as much armor as you tend to see Centaurs down the line. Still early days for the magic res as well. So Team Bright's burst is still on hand. It's just unfortunate that the smoke breaks right then and he couldn't get off that hoof stomp. That little wind-up is costing them. They've got really fast stuns on the side of Team Bright to prevent any sort of openings in that kind of initiation. So Stampede gone, smoke does not line up, and the stall game continues on Team Bright. 2K, 3K lead coming out now for Team Bright. Medusa is just having a free ride into the Scotty. You haven't had to pop Doom all game on Irving, so that spell is still ready to go. And for MAG, the only good thing right now for them is that all their towers are still standing, but it's like you said, Mike, you don't really care for that right now, since you're getting enough farm on your side of the jungle. MAG.Yolo has just not invaded across the river successfully often enough to make it uncomfy for Team Bright.
Okay, there goes that tier 1 bottom. I mean, eventually they are trying to glyph it up, but it will go down. Seems like Red Panda, he'll go on the hunt to see if he can find this Enchantress. Hex is out from TK. They will find the Ench, and eventually she'll try her best to heal up through this damage output, but there is no chance of survival. TK will just commit the finger to ensure they get the kill. You know, this is the stage, I think, where Team Bright will just completely take over the game. I mean, MAG.Yolo, they have just not hit the timings they could have really gotten here with this draft, and I think at this stage the Medusa's just getting way too big. Ulu's one item away from Eye of Skadi as they do get Red Panda. Maybe they get TK as well, and they do. They've got both the support duo here from MAG.Yolo. CZY will drop quite low to the damage output of the Quap, but does make his way up. So you lose the support duo of Team Bright, but again, I just don't think it matters. Like, Ulu's just free farm too long, Skadi up in a moment, Diffusal Blade after that. And I just, Vanessa has not gotten to a stage where he can really contest this Dusa.
Yeah, I mean, I'd argue actually that Vanessa has not contributed to this game at all with his farm. Like, he's farmed up for so long, he hasn't really joined into the pushes. We haven't seen his firepower really extend onto anyone from the side of Team Bright. And it's just kind of sitting there on the hero. TK.
Yeah, they're going to find themselves a nice easy Ench kill. Silence is going to come out from the DP to try to help out, but it makes no difference. That's kind of the thing. Like, you know, that support duo kill that MAG.Yolo found, it was like 400 gold. You know, it really wasn't that big of a deal. Not going to change the state of the game for them. In fact, that one kill into the Ench apparently was worth more. For some reason.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why, but hey, you know, if you get more, you don't ask questions here for Team Bright.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You've got the full Scotty up. You were talking about on Ulu, so he is ready to roll on that Dusa. A lot of HP now. Not very easy to burn through a 2k worth of mana on the mana shield as well. No diffusals being built up yet. That's still a ways off for Vanessa.
Oh!
Ooh. quick X.
XL, but Canloon, he's going to find a nice stun. Still the snowball is going to save everybody. They'll lasso up the Deucer. She's out of mana now. Ulu might go down and does. They have the answers apparently for the Medusa still. As Ulu just kind of melted. It was the thing, right? Everyone else got put in the snowball apart from Ulu. So they were unable to save the Medusa. And I could have sworn she was within range for that snowball, but they just didn't take her.
Yeah, that was really strange. Feels like they should have been able to get that save. Doesn't line up, and the burst does come into play. That was a lot of sustained damage with a Firefly from CZY. And a really good follow-up stun from Candyloon to ensure that they could get control there. They are still chasing here, though.
CZY get caught out. Shackle, a little bit awkward onto the Warpine Raider. They are still going to find themselves a Tusk, though, and CZY does remain alive. So there you go. I mean, you know, even with the weird Shackle that did fly out, doesn't really matter too much. They still get themselves a kill. Team Bright back to the drawing board. You know, I was just saying that this Medusa should be uncontrollable very soon, but apparently not.
I mean, she ran out of mana, did pop the Stone Gaze, but just melted to the Firefly on top of her. And I think the big issue there for Team Bright was that there was no close TP point for Irving. He did come in, but he came in at the tail end, running forward, couldn't use Doom, and it just causes issues in the fight. You need to have this Doom running on Irving. He's got the Shiva's Guard up now. So maybe an opening coming out with his smoke, trying to scout down bot. Roche has already fallen, so they'll have to deal with 2 lives in Venecia. I honestly don't think that's an issue, if they can just get this initiation that they're looking for. But they will just go back to farm. So just keep that build-up game going here for the side of Team Bright. MAG.Yolo, a bit of an opening for them. With that secondary life, that protection on Venecia, along with Lincoln's up, can make the ganks on her more challenging. And the defusal is finally up and running for Venecia as well. So they have an even more straightforward solution for Ulu. Not going to be the best feeling for the Deuce if it does get caught out to that Wind Ranger here.
It certainly won't be. It's like Ulu's going to try and work on towards the MKB to ensure he can actually hit the Wind Ranger every time. Very close game between these two, a lot closer than I would have first expected. The Team Bright currently a 53% chance win probability at the moment against MAG.Yolo, so again, very, very close. Because one team fight could kind of ruin that for either side, but for now it seems as though both teams are going to be more than happy to sit back and relax. Roshan's still a long time away from respawning, obviously already taken by MAG.Yolo. They are going to try and pressure this top tier 2 tower now. Team Bright though, they are TPing. They want to try and defend. Smoke is out from MAG.Yolo. They are prepping. Back lasso. They've caught the Doom out. This is a nice start here from MAG.Yolo as the Doom is going to be saved by Red Panda. He'll be put in the snowball for now, but there is still no escape for Irving. In fact, Red Panda, he will follow his Doom. And MAG.Yolo, well, they're going to go through the top tier 2 tower.
Gonna be able to find it. Really great ward on Cliff, just scouting the TPs on the northern side, setting up for that smoke play from MAG.Yolo. Exo still has half duration, a little bit of great chip damage to come into that tier 3 as well. Creep wave is gonna come close enough. You did see Ulu just pushing in bot tier 2, trying to get that exchange. We'll be able to find it. And they do manage to force the Fortify out to stall. So, overall, not the worst thing in the world for Team Bright. I mean, they understand they're up against an Aegis. Your Dusa needs that MKB to actually hit the Wind Ranger at this point. So she's not going to be joining in just yet. And Ulu's MKB isn't too far off, only about 1.7k gold away. So, yeah, you're mitigating your losses. Sure, you drop to Irving still not having that impact or the game that you'd hope a Doom would have. Sitting at 10k net worth below Yamo, but still above Candyloon. But, I mean, it's a Doom. It's not ideal to have this kind of farm. Granted, you don't go Midas now, so it does make sense. MAG.Yolo still have time to make something happen with the Aegis. One tier 2 is nice. They've got good forward vision now to play with as well. But it does feel like you kind of want more. Although the Ags is eventually going to come out for Venecia, and that's going to be an additional issue here, as they will go for that smoke out. They do have some wards.
Big smoke here from MAG.Yolo. Heading down towards the bottom lane. In fact, never mind that. They'll go east. Towards Ulu on the Medusa. This could be the perfect initiation if they can find her. She's just about 800 gold off the Demon Edge to finish off the MKB as well. Instead, though, Yamo gonna head towards the secret shop of the Dire. Now up towards the Tormentor area. Tormentor gonna be trying to be taken here by Team Bright, but MAG.Yolo, they've come at the right time. They're gonna find themselves an easy TK kill, and now the Dusa. Looks like she'll also be going down. Very unfortunate timing here from Team Bright.
And they had the wards in MAG.Yolo. Just this lane ward, again, giving a lot of value for the rotations of MAG.Yolo. Seeing Ulu retreat and knowing the path a Medusa would take in this jungle. Just going on the right side, either going for the Ancients or into the Tormentor. Easy, readable play for MAG.Yolo to follow up on. And that's the kind of activity they need to get done with his timing. And that should open up more possibilities. Age is still up, only about half a minute, so not the most time left. But they are keeping this game even. 1k lead up for MAG.Yolo, which isn't all too bad for Team Bright. But this, again, this Wind Ranger with the Ags is going to be fairly annoying. Like, she's going to have her talents up as well, although 25 is still a ways off. But she is starting to hit like a truck just with the stats. And again, the Diffusal is just going to be a massive threat. No easy answers just yet from Team Bright. They do have the Ags on Butterfly Effect for all of that Shadow Strike spam, but that favors a prolonged fight. We just haven't seen a dragged out fight yet for Team Bright here.
Here we go. Next out there. Found themselves an inch in the mid lane. Not the biggest kill here for Team Bright, but they will take whatever they can get right now. So with that, bottom lane, perhaps Butterfly Effect now getting caught by the lasso and the focus fire of Vanessa may go down, although Vanessa, I think, stopped attacking there for a second, but it won't matter. They will still get the kill.
That's the big kill they need, really. Like, Butterfly Effect, left unchecked for a long time. First death of the game. And this is the guy that kind of is setting up your tempo here. Is your easy jump in. We haven't seen Irving take that position just yet with the Doom. It has been the Quap opening up the charge along with the support still. With Ulu having that full MKB, this is the point where it should start to get comfier. Right, like, you can hit the Wind Ranger. You've got really good damage coming in as long as you're protected. And they need to protect Ulu as much as possible in these fights. The jumps from MAG.Yolo have just been on point. CZY and Candadoon just constantly finding these openings, coordinating with the Stampede Lasso has made it rough for the side of Team Bright. Team Bright will take their Tormentor. We'll pick it up with a Shard on Red Panda. I think they really actually just want TK to have a Shard. Okay, he already has his at the very least. Mid tier 2 will fall. And MAG.Yolo, they've got really good map control. Again, really good vision coming out. Good laning wards to spot any sort of movement out of the base from Team Bright. They can set up for the next Roshan if they want to. You can see that timer in a minute. It's going to be a daytime spawn as well at this point. So they've got advantage naturally with the outpost on their position. And for Bright, I mean, it looks rough. But again, you've got Dusa into late game. You've got Doom trying to scale up. I think the one thing that is holding back Irving is, again, like, normally with a Doom, if you are going late, you are going for the Midas. Here, just no farm acceleration outside of Devour. He did go for, like, this early presence, but just never managed to play around it yet.
MAG.Yolo still hanging about here in the Radiant jungle. Team Bright still just trying to avoid them altogether. Yamo working on towards the Shiver's Guard now, but does have the Linked Sphere available for himself. Things getting more and more awkward for Team Bright. Smoke on smoke scenario, they are running right towards each other in that Radiant jungle.
Smoke under a ward.
Who first? Can Lun go? Oh, that's a 3-man stop! Perfect initiation! TK is down. Irving at least will get the BKB Doom off in time. It's onto the Death Prophet, but still they are losing Red Panda. They've lost all of the mana pool on Ulu. Lasso is out to take down the Deucer. Butterfly Effect still trying to do the best he can to salvage this team fight, but it is not going to be quite good enough. It's Yamo, not even Yamo going to go down. He will survive by TPing back towards the fountain. The Team Bright, they are just not able to catch a break here in this game one.
It's again the vision game from MAG.Yolo making the difference. They just smoke under a ward on Team Bright, and that gives the information out. Again, another very readable move for MAG.Yolo to follow up on. A little bit surprised that they didn't bother to check. That's not the most uncommon warding spot nowadays, as we've seen a lot of teams utilize that. And Team Bright lagging fully behind now. 7k lead up for MAG.Yolo. The initiation, again, causing a ton of issues here for Team Bright. Just a little bit too slow on the uptake with a counter initiation and saves for Team Bright right now, as we do get another pause and multiple disconnects. Everyone trying to repair the connection here. But yeah, this game is getting pretty tough to repair for Team Bright. Mind you, again, I mean, you've got the scaling on the Deucer, you've got the Doom, which is a constant threat, but it just hasn't lined up. Like, I appreciate the smoke play, but under a ward, and it just, you're not going to find success like that.
Oh, MAG.Yolo doing some work here in this this lower bracket run. Team Brighter, they looked fantastic before this series, and now they're just completely falling apart here up against MAG.Yolo. Reconnections are there for the Radiant side. We are just waiting on Irving here on the Doom to get his way back into the game. Go ahead is out. MAG.Yolo is still going to have a pretty tough time trying to breach high ground with this style of draft, though, I think. Especially against the Medusa and the Quap. But for now, things still going very, very well for them. They can just continue to just control the map. Still a lot of scaling going on here with Vanessa as well. He'll go into the Disperser now and just make life even more challenging for Team Bright. We are seeing a BKB being worked on by Ulu, so he does feel the need now to be a little bit more defensive. So they are certainly finding all the answers towards that big mana pool of his. So we are actually going to see a smoke coming out from Team Bright. Roshan is available, so they could certainly think about going that way, but there is going to be a Harpy Stormcrafter camping the pit, which will make it hard to take Roshan without it being spotted, but they are going to just show themselves underneath that creep. However, Red Panda going to have his smoke broken now on the edge. The rest of MAG.Yolo going to show up, not willing to let Roshan go. Irving going to blink away. Stampede forward is going to come out from MAG.Yolo, and they get a nice claim near. Irving forced the BKB up, does go for the Doom onto the Wind Ranger. They've got Vanessa this time around. Vanessa dropping very low, does go down. That's the start they were looking for, but the buyback is out from Vanessa. Meanwhile, a big Sonic Wave, it lands onto 3. Ulu is still trying to man up through all the damage output, but they're out of mana again as CCY is going to disconnect in the middle of a team fight. Won't really matter too much though, because everyone else is just kind of retreating. Red Panda and Butterfly Effect have no way back into the fight, and this Medusa is almost just guaranteed to die. She does have a greater healing Lotus plus some one charges, but I don't believe her support and mid will come back to save her anyway. It's a 5v3, they'll just let her die. And Roshan looks like it certainly will go the way of MAG.Yolo here.
Yeah, that's the opening you're looking for on MAG.Yolo. Again, it's down to a couple of factors there for Team Bright. They smoked up, but Butterfly Effect breaks the smoke early on the creep wave. So they move in a lot faster into the Roche. They didn't even need the creep vision. They know that Roche was going to happen. So they move a lot, like that 5 seconds gap into deciding for the smoke is big. Gives them the distance they need to just be there in time. The durability as well here of Irving on the Doom. I mean, you see him come in, he pops Lincoln's and then pops the Doom off, and then he just dies. He has no way of staying alive in these fights. Just feels like paper right now, despite having so much armor on him when he does get focused down. And that means you can't play around with the Scorched Earth damage coming out. You don't have someone to front line safely for you. You're forced to dance around. It looked good initially, and they do force that buyback, but with Aegis to cover Vinesi, that doesn't matter. Aramik moves top.
Red Panda go for a bit of a run, but they have certainly locked down the task, so there's no chance of Red Panda getting away. The Team Bright continuing to fall apart here in this game, one of this best of 3 series. MAG.Yolo thinking about going through the top. Irving going down now. Vinesi and CZY able to pick off the Doom right in front of his base.
Yeah, they lassoed him in from the high ground. They
Yikes.
actually jumped down and dragged him. It's getting dicey here for Team Bright. And the scaling's not kicking in. The Doom's not having any impact.
Butterfly effect. He's going to blink one way. Sonic Wave committed. We'll try for the TP play out, but they break the Lincolns. They'll use him up. And now with the Shackle to lock him down, Butterfly effect is gone. And it seems as though MAG.Yolo in still just complete control here. Will be able to go through the top lane if they so wish. Hell, Candlelin's actually camping the mid lane, so maybe going for the higher priority lane. They will send in some Skelly boys to get it started, and well, they are indeed going to commit for the mid racks instead.
Doesn't take too long with Focus Fire. Will force out the fourth fight early before the creep wave can actually get cleared out by that. So there is enough of creeps here to just sustain this push out. And they have the XO.
Now lasso out a 3-man
my
move stop from Candlelin. They all group up for it. And with that, it is starting to look like this game is well and truly over. Team Bright, I'm really not sure what they've done to themselves here, but they've absolutely fallen apart against MAG.Yolo in this game number 1. Just never taking off. MAG.Yolo, I mean,
Yeah,
props
it's
to them.
strange.
It is certainly strange. That is one way to put it.
I mean, you had this Doom timing into Vale. Irving doesn't rotate. You get that timing into Shivas initially. With Blink, Irving still doesn't make a move away from his lane or connect with his team in time. And early on in the laning phase, you know, the 2 deaths of Red Panda just felt completely unnecessary. Didn't just feel, they were completely unnecessary. No, it's MAG.Yolo. You know, they make the most out of it, of course. You don't look a gift horse in the mouth. They will play it safe, go back as everyone on Team Bright's respawn. But Team Bright, this Dusa needs so much more here. Like, BKB is one thing. I would honestly say a Lincoln's feels necessary. Like, multiple Lincolns on Team Bright just feel necessary with how much single target they have here. Just to try to stack save onto the lasso. But you're not going to have time to farm any of that just yet, unless MAG.Yolo drags the game out for some reason by 10 to 15 minutes, then you get that opening. Butterfly effect does have the Octarine, so more uptime for usage on everything, and a little bit more blinking around here for the Quap. I don't know, like, this is not an easy game to recover from. Mind you, your high ground turret defense with the Dusa is pretty nice. I mean, Dusa as a turret is there at least. But you don't quite have enough on the Dusa, I think, to sustain through that. BKB is there. That's something.
Yeah, it's something. See how much of a difference it's going to make here. I mean, there's no buyback gold available here for this Medusa. They're just going to go all in with this one team fight in the mid lane. Ulu will reveal himself on the creep wave. But they're just ignoring it altogether. MAG.Yolo just going straight towards the top lane. May just start on the tier 3 tower instead, though they are lacking a bit of a creep wave. But, CZY. Lasso will break the Lincoln Sphere that was placed on Red Panda. Panda, he'll make the jump in. Just a Walrus Punch onto Vinesi. However, Gleipnir is going to lock 2 of them down. Now the Doom being committed onto the DP, but it won't matter too much because she already got the XO off. They have lost Red Panda and TK already. A 3v5 scenario now in the favor of MAG.Yolo, as they're also going to find the Doom. A big Sonic Wave committed by Butterfly Effects does at least take down the Centaur. They are buying back. They are still trying to fight this one out.
Oh,
Vanessa, I mean, he has been caught in the Wind Ranger. Perhaps they can deal with him now, but he'll just wind run away. CZY now being targeted by Ulu, but Ulu, well, he actually will be able to get him. Problem is, Ulu is now out of mana, so might need to retreat himself. So there was more buybacks being committed by MAG.Yolo, trying to rush back in for another fight. No more buybacks left on the map, in fact. They either just don't have the gold, or it's on respawn, it's on a timer. 3 buybacks committed from either team in that last engagement, and yeah, MAG.Yolo, they still seem to want to just go for the final lane of barracks. They do not care. It's still 5v4 without the Doom. Butterfly effect, he's going to get stunned up immediately by Candy. We'll get the Yules off in time to survive. Meanwhile, Lasso has caught out the Medusa. Ulu, he does not have Stone Gaze available. Sonic Wave will be used to push them back, but Ulu is completely out of mana. Still able to back his way out for now. But they're just focusing on the objectives. The top racks. He is going to go down. That is Mega Creeps on the way now, as they will lose Red Panda. Ulu coming back in, trying to fight. Yamo may go down, but not quite. He will just continue to run. He will at least get the Shadow Strike off onto Yamo. But it looks like he's going to purge it off with the Yule Scepter and just blink away. Candaloon does get left behind on the Centaur, so at least you might find one. Eventually, it's going to be a slow process, but they'll get it. That'll be a dieback on the Centaur.
some openings for Team Bright, but they're up against Mega Creeps now. Really good forward vision set by MAG.Yolo on the way out as well, watching the high ground of the base. This is when it just literally becomes a game about the Dusa. And this is the point where you could consider something like the Divine Rapier for Ulu, but I don't think he's actually tanky enough to hold on to that this game, unfortunately. Is just going for the Daedalus into the Swift Blink for some positioning. The big issue right now is just Irving gets melted whenever Chu Sheng is allowed to just hit away with the impetus. It's so much damage onto that Doom. Doesn't care for his armor. Just rips right through the HP. Doesn't have that much of HP on Irving. So the EHP does not count up against that pure damage here. Team Bright is going to try to siege, and this is kind of all in now. Roshan 20 seconds away until we see the timer. If they find a tier 2 into Roche, that is their way back in, but... And they actually will just find a tier 2. They don't want to risk it on MAG.Yolo considering the buybacks. They will go for the smoke. Lasso is ready for CZY. One kill is all it takes here.
Well, it's going to be a 5v4 because Butterfly Effect has been left to defend. Team Bright, they will retreat, not seeing the opening they were looking for. Very, very hard to imagine them being able to win a fight without that quab. It's easy with Wino now on the hunt, but does get hexed up by TK. They'll try to burst down the Bat Rider immediately, but he does manage to get away for now. Meanwhile, Irving is just melting to the damage of Vanessa. Vanessa does find Irving. And now the fight looks atrocious for Team Bright, as they will lose TK to boot. Now 2 down onto the Medusa. She's completely out of mana. She is being left alone to die, and still will. Time to call it, boys. And GG is called. They've had enough. MAG.Yolo taking game number 1 in a very unexpected fashion here up against Team Bright. Props to them. MAG.Yolo apparently getting substantially better overnight.
That they do. Still trying to process